What is going on with the Shanster, bruh? What is going on? So I'm gonna get on X and we're gonna look up some of these Shannon Sharpe allegations before we get into this Yassine video, because I'm not up to speed, bruh. I'm definitely not up to speed on what's going on. I heard that he was in some freaky frog allegations. Let's see if he's okay, so he's still posting on his X account. Okay, yeah, he's still posting on X, so he hasn't gone black yet. He released a statement about the freaky frog allegations, and he says, "My statement is found here, and this is the truth. The relationship in question was 100% consensual. At this juncture, I am electing to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties." You know it's bad when a nigga say "at this juncture." He don't even normally talk like that. Nigga talking like T.I. At this juncture, I'm electing to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties. I will be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me. I plan to return to ESPN at the start of the NFL preseason. I sincerely appreciate the overwhelming and ongoing support I have received from my family, fans, friends, and colleagues. So this nigga, he just going on vacation until his shit clears out, is what it seems like, which is the play that a lot of these Hollywood ass niggas do, bro. They just want you to forget about it. So they're going to disappear for a little bit until you forget about it. They're going to pop back up like they don't have freaky frog allegations. But let's go ahead and see what the streets is saying. Everything I know about Shannon Sharpe has been told to me against my will. Enough. That's kind of how I'm feeling. I don't need to see Shannon Sharpe in this light. They said Shannon Sharpe almost 50. Oh, Shannon Sharpe is 50, almost 60, screwing a teenager? Men are disgusting. That's yuck. You not embarrassed? Okay, Gabby Social. Okay, Gab. Now, teenager and underage are completely different things. And I'm not going to have this debate with you today, chat. I'm not going to do it. So let's see what else we got here. Monique told y'all.
When you and I...
It's different, baby. I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
But you tried to say, what you tried to say,
I'm looking right at you.
I know you looking at me.
I ain't backing down. You better take your old ass and get somebody to love you.
Damn, Mo.
Now I'm looking right at y'all. Let me tell you what Shannon needs.
Hold up, air horse in the chat. Let's run it back.
Mo is different now. Than when you and I...
It's different, baby. I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
But you tried to say, what you tried to say, Mo.
Look at that body language.
56 and trying.
Look at that body language, chat. I'm not a body language expert, but yeah, she cooking him right now.
But you tried to say, what you tried to say, Mo.
I'm looking right at you.
I know you looking at me.
I ain't backing down. You better take your old ass and get somebody to love you.
Damn, Mo.
Now I'm looking right at y'all. Let me tell y'all what Shannon needs.
Let me live my life.
Let me tell you what my baby needs. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night.
Is Monique lying, chat? Like, I think she just read this man perfectly.
That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your old ass and get you an old bitch out there that can love you old. You're trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it. Dang. When they want you to go for the 4th round, you looking at her like, bitch, listen, I need you want some money to go to Starbucks?
Yeah,
because I can't go no further. But if you get your older girl, when you get to that 4th round, she's going to say, hold on. Let me go get you some eggs and cheese and some toast with apple butter, because that's going to get your energy back up. I'm talking right to you. Shit. So he thought I was going to be scared. Yes, I'm talking. And I know an old gal, she'd be good to you. Her name is Elladora. Now, when you know somebody named Elladora, she's old school. Mm-hmm. Now, Miss Elladora told me to tell you. She said, I think he like red velvet.
Oh, I do.
I say, Miss Elladora, if he do like that, she said, you let him know I got something for him.
Yeah, I like
and she don't have no teeth. Come on, pick your glass up and clack for me. Come on now. These young gals will bite you.
Wow. Hey, Monique just snapped with that one, bro. She cooked. She fucking cooked, chat. Oh my goodness.
Hold up. Let him.
Is this the bride? Shannon Sharpe was tripping. She ain't close enough to being cold enough for all this drama. She look of age. She look like she over 18. Shannon Sharpe was 54 having sexual relations with a 19-year-old, but for some reason y'all focus is on protect black men, like please don't piss me off. They said nobody, and then Shannon Sharpe's voicemail.
Nigger daddy, nigger daddy, nigger daddy.
Was he into some race play kinky shit? Freaky frog, bruh. Shannon Sharpe is 54-year-old retired athlete, rich, successful, very well known, and was fucking on a 19-year-old OnlyFans girl. Monique told his ass to leave them hoes alone, and he refused. Now look at him. At least age 30 plus would have been accepted. I don't understand it. How we feel about this, chat? Is it predatory? Because, I mean, yeah, this is a sticky situation. This is a sticky situation, no Diddy. Shannon Sharpe is a backwood bomber from Georgia who grew up walking on a dirt floor and using a literal outhouse. He definitely let that spicy white woman call him a spear-chucking jungle bunny. Discovery is gonna be crazy. Spear-chucking jungle bunny? They said Shannon Sharpe's credibility just went to shit. LMAO. 20-year-old white? Yeah, it seems like the streets is kind of disappointed in him. I feel like this might blow over, but at the same time, I know the OnlyFans model is making a bag off of this right now. I know that her stock going up. Yes, sirree. Because if y'all remember earlier this year, he had some type of like sex tape leak, but it was just the audio. So Shannon Sharpe has been a freaky frog for quite some time. We've known this, chat. We've definitely known this. So we're going to go ahead and get into the evidence.
It looks like it's cooked for Shannon Sharpe, and it wasn't so in the beginning, because Shannon Sharpe, most famously known for being a sports personality, also his own podcast Club Shay Shay that's had massive success and really went to legendary heights after the Cat Williams interview. He got sued for $50 million over an alleged rape, and it was on a Jane Doe.
$50 million? What happened? My bad. That might be me, chat. Let's refresh.
What's poppin', y'all? It looks like Court shot, and he was not. Doesn't have much time, so that's kind of
Tony
understandable.
Busby. Yeah, let's run this back. I recognize Tony Busby's name anywhere. $50 million lawsuit. What did he do to her?
For $50 million over an alleged rape. And it was on a
Grape?
Jane Doe in Nevada.
He's
They
taking
said that
it?
he brutally essayed her several times at the end of 2024, so just months ago, and the beginning of 2025, following a years-long abusive relationship.
So he did this post Cat Williams interview? He out here taking it, chat? Allegedly?
They said that they met at the gym when she was 20 years old and he was around 54. She's around 22. She's 22 right now. And then she said in their first encounter, he told her that he would buy her fake chest if she won a weight loss competition with him. And yeah, that's
That Riz.
already
old man
off to a
Riz.
great start, aren't we? And then she said that they were in a consensual relationship until it wasn't. And this was the quote by the attorney. He demanded complete control over her time and body, expecting her to be at his house on his schedule at his command whenever he called.
Now, if Tony Busby is representing this lady, I'm pretty sure this is the same lawyer that was going after Jay-Z for allegations. Let's see if we can pull that up real quick. Busby, Tony Busby, lawyer. And let's go ahead and throw in the Jay-Z. So, yeah, Jay-Z's war with Tony Busby somehow got even uglier. So, yeah, this was the guy that was putting allegations against Jay-Z, and I'm pretty sure this case got dismissed, chat. if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure this case got thrown out type shit. My bad. I had to make sure my monitor didn't turn off. Shannon Sharpe vows to sue Graper Cruiser for defamation. Jay-Z is at war with the lawyers for Diddy's accuser. So he might be involved with the Diddy thing too. So I don't know if this is a money grab per se, but when I see Tony Busby's name, chat, it doesn't bode well. It does not bode well.
Busy guy, like he doesn't have much time, so that's kind of understandable considering he has obligations with not just work and travel, but also his own family. So, I mean, him being like strict, quote unquote, like I can only meet at this time, it's understandable. But the point is, this lawsuit got filed by Tony Busby, who is, and this is a Jane Doe at this point in time. Tony Busby was the guy that tried to slap the 13-year-old Diddy and Jay-Z lawsuit on Jay-Z, and it did not work. He was pulling up from, it was a full court shot, and he was not Curry. It was like Shaq trying to take on a half-court shot with that, and he failed, and it was an embarrassing wipeout.
Facts.
And Jay-Z, hands up clapping for Jay-Z, because that was such a difficult thing that he had to take, and his sponsors and corporate dealings and all of them, it was the first time we saw them all support somebody through something like this, and he laid down the hammer, no yay, on this attorney, and he sued him, and he was on top of it. And now it's like nobody believes that. So this attorney had this reputation coming into this, and everybody who just hopped on Shannon Sharpe's side, they're like, yo, is this the guy that went after Ye? Man, we ain't trying to hear what he got to say, man. That's Uncle Shannon Sharpe right there. I mean, he didn't do that. And Shannon Sharpe's counsel replied to this, and he posted it on his Twitter.
Gabrielle Zuniga. Now, they were saying that she's milk. She's white, but Gabrielle Zuniga, that sounds almost ethnic, non-Caucasian. And like, I'm not going to get into the whole race play situation, but if these allegations are true, which there appears to be evidence, I don't know how he can go back to ESPN, you guys. Like, I don't know how he's going to return to ESPN if any of this is true.
It all came out, and things quickly took a turn for the worse. So the statement made by Lonnie J. Davis, counsel to Shannon Sharpe, they start to put in text by this chick. So this chick would be revealed. Her name is Gabrielle Zuniga. It seems like a Spanish last name, Spanish as in Spain, not to be mistaken for Latino, which is what a lot of Americans will call somebody from Guatemala Spanish, which is quite moronic, but Americans, like, what are you going to say? So there are a couple of quotes and texts, and one of them it says, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it. One of them it says, I know you missed this, behind $25K for each chick. Like, these tricking conversations are insane. It says, this lawsuit filed by Gabrielle Zuniga and orchestrated by her attorney Tony Busby is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Shannon for millions of dollars. Lies, distortions, and misrepresentations, and it will not succeed. In her effort to extract a large financial settlement, Zuniga presented Sharpe with a secretly recorded video of a consensual encounter. We believe the video has been heavily edited and taken entirely out of context, crafted to falsely portray a consensual act as non-consensual. Ms. Zuniga.
Hey, we got to be careful out here, chat. I think we got to just start getting these NDAs with thumbprints, signatures, video recordings, because something like this can go from casual to, oh, you graped me real quick, especially when there's a monetary incentive. So I'm not mad at the OnlyFans girl, bruh. Get your money, dog. But, yeah, Shannon Sharpe, you got to move better than this.
Has refused to provide a copy of the full unedited version to Sharpe's legal team to set the record straight. We are releasing several of Ms. Zuniga's own explicit text messages to Mr. Sharpe that indicate the nature of their relationship was consensual and sexual in nature, and in many cases initiated by her with specific and graphic requests. Contrary to allegations, consensual stuff remained until January 2nd, 2025, the day after she asked for $25K per cheek. And then they go on to say, but in other quotes, only if you put that baby gravy in me, then you can do whatever you want to me. I want to put my tongue in your behind and then marry you. These guys deserve what they get just for like this level of weirdo stuff. These sodomites. What is it with these guys and their behinds, dog? Like, this is the weirdest. Like, 50 Cent was talking about this. Shannon Sharpe was talking about this. Amber Rose might have not been lying when she was talking about Ye like to get played like that, because he was polishing knob. job, from his own words. So it's like these guys are freaked the hell out, man. It's
frogs.
homo. Regardless, oh man, I get it. I don't want to deviate here. Let's get back professional. And then he says, you better crave it because you're going to be stuck with it for life, blah, blah, blah. She continues. Text would leak, more text would leak after this. But what happens next is bad because they fight back. We're seeing lawsuits play out on social media. This is the crazy part. And the reason why this is playing out on social media is because the more pressure that they provide and the more social media talks about it, the more the sponsors and companies that are in partnership with Shannon Sharpe are thinking, do we cut our losses here? Should we just cut this? Should we drop him? Is he going to cost us a lot more? Like, his reputation is getting damaged right now. And that influences Shannon Sharpe's decision to settle or not. Because he says, damn, if I...
Dry
this
ass
is
Thanksgiving meal, bruh. That is about the worst cranberry sauce I've ever seen in my life, Chad.
Let's get back professional.
Look how
And then he says, you better crave
that
that are in
cranberry
partnership
sauce
with
is,
Shannon
Chad.
Sharpe are thinking, says, damn, if I...
Look at this bullshit. I gotta run it back just so we could peep the cranberry sauce on this table. Because there's some bullshit.
damage right now. And that...
Look at this shit, Chad. Look, what the fuck is this? No wonder Shannon Sharpe down bad, bruh. This the type of shit you putting in your body? This what your caterer got for you, bruh? This is abysmal.
That influences...
Dog at the table? Dog at the dinner table? Now, I got companion animals and I love my dogs, but I'm not doing this.
Shannon Sharpe's decision to settle or not, because he says, damn, if I, like, this is a lot of stuff that's happening on social media. If I lose this deal because of it, I'm losing $50 million, and these guys want $3 million, so I might as well just pay them $3 million to stop leaking stuff out in public. And this is before they even get to trial. So what happens next is this girl leaks audio of her recording Shannon Sharpe. Now, I don't know what state this was in. This might have been Las Vegas, because there are certain states where you have to let the person know that you're recording them. You can't just have a one-party recording law. So I'm gonna run you guys that audio right now.
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
what does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke the shit out of you when I see you.
You gonna do what?
Thank you.
Okay.
It's getting spooky, chat. I hope that wasn't AI or fake news. This awkward silence make it seem real.
I don't.
You know what?
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do.
Okay, do they have some type of dom sub relationship? Cause, you know, I'm vanilla over here, bro. I don't get into that type of dominatrix and you gotta insult me and make me feel like, you know, I'm shit type of relationship. But I know a lot of people are into that, especially very successful, rich people. They love that dom sub relationship stuff. So I'm interested to see if maybe that's a little bit of what's going on here, because it's, I don't know. I don't think this is as black and white as we're making it seem.
I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Might be some more
You
nuance.
hear, this is fishing. This is, she's fishing for a certain response that she got. And when she got him, I don't know if she was smiling, she was covering her mouth. I feel, you guys ever on the phone with someone and you can hear them smile? And I know it sounds insane because, like, how can you hear someone smile? That's,
No, you can
it's
hear
a physical thing that you do. It doesn't make a sound. But you guys know what I'm talking about. Here, I could hear her smiling through this silence. She's probably like, got him. We got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. That FBI meme. Because she went silent for a bit after after this, and this doesn't look good, obviously, and it's clipped out of context. We know that for sure, but the problem is it doesn't matter that we know that, and it gets worse. Because this got Shannon Sharpe scrambling. So he goes on social media and he posts another statement at 1:30 a.m. I think on April 23rd, or it was hours after.
Cocaine hours.
Depends on the time zone. My time zone might be off, but it was several hours after his initial response that was drafted by his counsel. And it's this video clip, which I'll run you guys right now.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries
Put the card back in the deck.
to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million.
You just clattered her up by doing this, bruh. You just clattered her the fuck up. I know her OF is popping off right now. Tony Busby probably getting a nice little cut out of that too. But yeah, man, I don't know if you had a chance to run this by your handlers before you put this out, bruh. Because I see you got a little bit of lights, camera action here. So somebody had to be tapped in before you did this. Yeah, we got to get Shannon Sharpe. You got to do better, bruh. You got to do fucking better, you freaky fucking frog.
What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
This is bad for Shannon Sharpe.
It's real bad.
And I want to understand the legalities of this. If she covertly recorded Shannon Sharpe smashing her in a video, and it's 10 minutes long or whatever the case may be, and he didn't know about it, and they are threatening to release it, is that not extortion? Is that not illegal, number one? Isn't that revenge porn? Like, laws came out about that? Because we know for a fact, if just the act of recording, I'm pretty sure is illegal if someone doesn't know about it. So if, imagine Shannon Sharpe was recording her and she had no idea. Even if he never put out the video, even if he never sued her, it would be clipped, it would be cooked for Shannon Sharpe. But of course the roles are reversed. And I just need to know in this situation, how is that legal? I have no idea. And how is it admissible in court? So if it's, I don't know if it's admissible in court.
What you got to understand is that this is just an assumption by Shannon Sharpe. We don't know if Tony Busby actually has this clip that he's referring to. My man Shannon Sharpe literally just jumped out the window talking about some 10-minute sex tape that honestly I could have lived life not knowing about that and not having that image in my head. But yeah. This is rough. Because
court, because if it's illegally recorded, if you're not allowed to record an encounter like that, and they can't present it in court, that means it wasn't legally recorded. But if they put it out and leak it, isn't that revenge porn? So wouldn't that be an illegal act as well? So I don't know how that all manifests itself. But regardless, it came out later, which is even worse for Shannon Sharpe, because they're like, okay, this is a shakedown. You know, we might still be rocking with Shannon Sharpe, even though people were not really too fond when the girl got leaked and she was white. But it came out that he offered her at least $10 million to settle the case, which is dangerous, which means that he thinks that this case, if some information comes up from it, it will be significant damage that's worth tens of millions of dollars. So his attorney, Shannon Sharpe's attorney, revealed that he made an offer to his accuser of $10 million. So in a meeting with reporters Tuesday, the proposal was doled out during mediations with the plaintiff within the last month or so. It says Davis said Doe initially seemed to be considering it before she suddenly, without warning, walked away from our offer. She later added, a big surprise to us when suddenly the case was filed without any advance warning. Doe, through her famed lawyer Tony Busby, filed the lawsuit, and yeah, that's basically it. So I personally think that it was Tony Busby that got her to not take it. Because she's asking this dude for $25K here, $50K here, which is a wild number to ask for. It's an insane number. But for her to get offered $10 million, to say no to it had to be the attorney in her ear. Like, you're only taking $10 million? You know how much we can get out of this guy? He's about to sign a $100 million deal. We can get $50 million out of him, $20 million at the very least if we push this. And I think Tony Busby potentially wanted a clout from this as well, because he needs a redemption. I think this is a public thing too, because when you're an attorney like Tony Busby and your reputation really got taken through the ringer with Jay-Z, it was a complete embarrassment. You can't just take a silent W, because let's say $10 million, that's a silent W. Yeah, you get your cut, she gets her M's, and you're quiet about it. But Shannon Sharpe is big fish. Shannon Sharpe is beloved fish. So I think Tony Busby is looking at it like, hey, I need to beat this, quote unquote. I need to pin this and win this case in court, in public, and show all the proof and get people to believe it, so my reputation gains again and is repaired, if you want to call it that. And they'll end up making more money as a whole. I think that's the way that he's potentially looking at it, because even from his perspective as an attorney, hey, I don't know, what's he getting? His $2 million, $3 million, $4 million, whatever. Most attorneys would take this settlement, but he didn't. And of course, it wasn't her idea to not take it. It was his idea. So they leaked the chick who is suing him for $50 million. And yeah, you can take a look at her, you thirsty bozos. But this continues, because Tony Busby said, on the one hand, Mr. Sharpe and his lawyers claimed that the case filed by Jane Doe is meritless. Yet on the other hand, they have disclosed that Mr. Sharpe offered her $10 million in writing not to file her lawsuit. So it wasn't even verbal. He says that the attorneys for Shannon Sharpe say that it was in writing. That is a true statement. Jane Doe was in fact offered $10 million to settle, but rejected that offer, choosing instead to proceed with litigation. Sharpe's team is now trying to discredit and dox her. Sharpe and his team are now, as anticipated, also attacking me. We are not going to be deterred.
She turned down $10 million. Dog. Yo, just let that sink in real quick. He offered hush money, $10 million. They said, nah, we need 50.
By these tactics. So they're playing, it's kind of like House of Cards games right now, because Shannon Sharpe putting out these texts, which include her name and number, in all transparency, it applies a lot of pressure on her. So she's going to get a ton of hate. Now, she hasn't privated her profile. She's got an OF, so people are running that up. She's running up her followers. But behind the scenes, this definitely puts a lot of pressure on her and her attorney. So she's probably arguing with the attorney or calling the attorney and saying like, hey, I was going to get $10 million and like nobody was going to hear about it. And I was willing to take the deal, but you told me like we have to go to court, but my anonymity would be guaranteed as a Jane Doe. And now I'm getting so much hate. My parents know about this. My friends know about this, blah, 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 blah. So now there's strife in between them. So these are the games that are being played here. And I love to see it from content wise, right? Like, I'm like, oh, glad I'm not a part of that. Shannon Sharpe was also taking a play out of Jay-Z's book and saying that he was going to sue her for defamation. And he even cited Jay-Z's name in the video that I played you guys earlier. But this isn't a Jay-Z situation, Shannon Sharpe. It is not. Because with Jay-Z, it was completely fake, fabricated, no proof from 30 plus years ago, no video, no text messages, no nothing. Your case is a little bit different. Like, we just look at some texts that were leaked, and they look bad, man. And the text, so Shannon Sharpe said that stuff was going to be taken out of context. And he said that the actual video that they want to leak is 10 minutes long and not 30 seconds long. So he wants them to leak the full 10 minutes, which is wild. Because in that 30 seconds, you're probably going to see a giant that weighs 100 pounds more than this chick doing God knows what. This is terrible because in the text messages, it says, but I cried when you left because I begged you to put a condom on and not put it in my behind and you didn't listen. So this guy's a sodomite too. The reason like him getting played with in his behind, I don't know if that's necessarily considered sodomy, not the actual definition. It's weirdo fairy stuff that is frankly disgusting. Yes, we judge here. Like, oh, you're not gonna judge what he does. Yeah, I am gonna judge. He's weirdo. You're getting your behind played with. You're weird. Anyway, and not put it in my behind. And so he's sodomizing her as well. I don't care what our history is. No means no, Shannon. And this is in text. This is bad. But keep in mind the date. It's 1/2/2025. which is January, which is basically the end of their relationship. Probably when she was already trying to set him up. I don't know how to process this. And he says, can I call you later? And then he just blocks. I think he blocks her after this, which is a good move. But listen, man, you're already in the spider web. Like, this guy's basically, he's in the spider web. The spider's been wrapping itself around him. It's been wrapping the web around him. And then he's just this fly that's like, I'm going to fly out of here now. No, you're in the spider web. You're cooked. You're done. It's over with. At this point in time. Another one of the texts is her saying, oh, I want to be abused. I want some hardcore BDSM. This is some crazy stuff because she's putting him onto this. She's like, I want you to tie me up like this. The texts get even more disturbing and insane. 20-year-old chicks. Yep. So, and this is the thing. She's in the text. Shannon Sharpe was like, man, I don't know how to do this hog tying rope, like this Boy Scout stuff. Like, you think we're out at sea, like something that Christopher Columbus was doing back in the day. Like, well, I don't know how to do any of this stuff. So this freaked out chick that's 20 years old, I don't think it works in her favor too much to say like, oh, she was innocent, she didn't know what was going on, blah, blah, blah. Because she's into all this weird freaked out stuff. And this is the problem. You can't even be a normal guy that's like, yo, I'm just trying to do some normal stuff. Chick's talking about, no, I need to be hanging up from a ceiling fan. At this point in time, Shannon Sharpe should have known and said, oh, this girl is insane when she first suggested any of this crazy stuff. Because you got to think steps ahead. I don't think Shannon Sharpe was thinking steps ahead. Or maybe he was thinking 2 steps ahead with 2 steps downstairs from his brain. But you got to think, okay, how could this potentially look if it got leaked?
Shannon was definitely thinking with his other head in regards to this situation. And I think it's because he's so clouded up and he has money, and that money blinded him, bruh. It blinded the fuck out of him. And, you know, it's a shame when NBA players or whatever, NFL, don't learn from other people's mistakes, because this isn't the first time, and it won't be the last, we've seen these athletes getting into sticky grape situations. So truly disappointing. It keeps getting worse.
Leaked to the entire world. It's not going to look good, and she's going to weaponize it against him. And that's what happened here. And there are multiple times, and I think we're going to see something like that in the video, potentially her saying stop. And yeah, you know, they've got all this weird stuff going on that is best to not mess with. And this is the biggest prevailing lesson of this. Charlemagne actually alludes to in his own video clip, which I'm not going to agree with Charlemagne here, but he has a good perspective. So I'm going to run this Charlemagne clip right now.
But that's not against the law because she was of age. So even though she was 19, that's not against the law.
This is a very, very messy situation. I don't know what's true and what's not true, but I have no idea why a 54-year-old man is dating a 19, 20-year-old. I know.
Now, there's another situation where I don't be hearing this shit from this messenger, bruh. Charlemagne Spanish Fly the God. I've read both Charlemagne the God books, and yeah, he definitely admitted to graping a girl back in Moncks Corner, South Carolina, or where the fuck he's from. Yeah, bro, I haven't been able to watch Breakfast Club in so long. Charlemagne the God is a corny individual.
Y'all like to be out here bragging about smashing these young things, but that's not a flex to me. You 54 years old, you should be laid up with your wife and kids, taking your cholesterol medicine, minding your damn business. We need discipline and stability. That's. I ain't talking about just Shannon. I'm just talking about all of us in general. Men need discipline and stability. Find you one woman and settle your ass down, okay?
I agree with you, but it's not against the law. He can as long as the person's over a certain age, it is not against the law.
Get off
the
the
legalities. That's not against the law.
I'm with you.
It don't feel right, but for himself, it's not against the law.
I'm with you. I'm just saying a 54-year-old man supposed to be laid up with his wife and kids somewhere. Hell, maybe even have a couple of grandkids. I don't want to be chasing no young girl.
Because 54. What are the conversations like? What are the conversations? If I'm 54 and you 20,
that's what I thought about. Like,
I don't agree with that.
Who gives a fuck what their conversations are like, bruh? Like, that's all you guys ever have to say about the young person dating the old person situation. And I'm going to keep it a bean. It goes both ways. Okay, there's plenty of cougars out here that go after young men. I've got stories for days about that, and maybe we'll do a story time if you guys really want to hear it. But that being said, it's not going to be what are the conversations like. If you got Riz, you got Riz. It don't matter what age you are.
Signs of a stroke.
But all I'm gonna say is when you see all these white people do it, Leo DiCaprio, Seinfeld, Hugh Hefner, Joaquin Phoenix, John Mayer, when they date young girls, Nobody says anything. I'm not saying it's right, but it's not against the law.
But
Now,
I saw Shannon with Andrew Schultz, and he was just talking about all of the ways he avoids situations like this. I don't know if y'all saw that part of the conversation. How he don't even want to be on the elevator with a woman and stuff like that. It's the same thing with this. You know, a lack of discipline and stability can increase the chances of a situation like this happening. You 54 years old, a 19-year-old, 20-year-old.
No, you're right.
It's like, come on. If you're going to be that disciplined with everything else, you got to be disciplined all across the board.
But you know what's going to happen now? You're going to see more than one accuser start popping out now.
Well, I hope not.
But
that's
what usually happens.
Yeah.
One accuser is suing for $100 million. There's gonna be another girl that's gonna be like, "Well, it happened to me too. I need 20." Then another one's gonna come. I need 10. That's what you're gonna see. I hope not too.
I would hope not.
I hope he didn't do this, but you know that's what you more
That's
likely
what
to
we were
see.
saying in the past.
And y'all, why wouldn't you wait till he signed his podcast deal?
Because we don't know nothing about no.
She might not have put it out last week. They just put the announcement out last week.
Did you see these text messages? In this statement, these alleged text messages, this woman said she wants a big black baby put in her. She ain't waiting on nothing.
I don't know.
You want a big black baby?
She said it twice. They included these text messages to show the nature of their consensual sexual relationship.
So she not black either.
Nope, she white.
So once again, Dr. Umar when you need him. Y'all gonna learn.
I'ma just say,
I am totally against it.
Oh my God!
Even in sinners, y'all ain't. That's what you know. What
they were role playing and everything
You
according
can't.
to the statement, but he says it was all consensual. So this video, I don't know, it could look kind of crazy, but you know,
young girls, not black. Once again, we need discipline and stability because when you don't have no discipline and stability, it increases the chances of situations like this happening.
Is the woman white? Do we know if the woman is white or if she's Latino or what? Or we
I
don't know
haven't
that.
confirmed that, but I can.
So he says, "Oh, find yourself one woman of age, settle down." Well, I think this is Charlemagne like projecting his own values and belief system on someone, which I can't agree with. Like, what the hell? Like the guy can do whatever he wants, especially if it's allowed and legal. And what's his name agrees here, DJ Envy. Of course, the chicks are talking about, oh, what are they even going to talk about? What are the conversations about? You can see the text conversation. They're about freaked out stuff. That was clearly their common interest. So what do you mean? What are they going to talk about? That's what they're going to talk about. The problem here is also this chick is 20 years old, going to the same gym in the same building as Shannon Sharpe. How? Does she have rich parents? Was she already rich off OF? I don't know. Shannon Sharpe, as well as any of these other dudes, these American guys need to understand the age of the playboy in America is over. It's been dead. You're cooked. It's done. If you want to be a playboy, go somewhere else. I mean, like, maybe you can be a celebrity in Russia and be in Playboy, or hell, probably even the Middle East, even certain places in Africa. I don't know too much about Europe. South America, Asia, East Asia even, you can be a playboy there. But America and Australia, we see that Philly guy, he wasn't even trying to be a playboy, but I think that guy's still in jail waiting it out. We don't know the details of that case though. But Australia, America in particular, Canada, that playboy stuff is cooked. You are completely subject to a situation like this. Especially
that shit been out the window since at least 2013. Whenever Instagram got really popular, that shit went out the window, bruh. Absolutely.
Especially if you're famous and rich, and then you're coming out like tricking to a degree as well. Yeah, it's over with. So the only answer to this is what Charlemagne said. But then a lot of these guys are like, well, I worked this hard to just have one woman. Well, yeah, if you want to do it in America, I guess. It's either that or you risk basically being subjugated to this chick. And if you look at some of the texts that this chick has with him, she's talking to him like he's not Shannon Sharpe. It's not. She's talking to him like he's not. She's talking to him like he's not a grown man. She's
Right,
like, oh yeah, you gotta
like
apologize. I'm waiting for my apology. It's like, chick, who are you? And it's not on some status stuff. It's like your ego is so big that you're out here like demanding an apology. But when some guy's freaked out like this and you know that he's horned out, you completely have power over him. She did have power over him. So I'm not surprised as to why she's behaving like that. But Shannon Sharpe should have learned when she was trying to play this in the beginning, he's got to cut it off. But and this is the problem with dudes. They all think, oh, that wouldn't happen to me. Oh, no, that wouldn't happen to me. The only like quote unquote playboy we've seen like skate by is...
Honestly, this isn't a guy situation. It's a human situation. A lot of people like to think it's never going to happen to them. And that's just humanity for you, bruh. Everybody thinks they never going to get burned. They never going to get in a car accident. It's not going to be them. It can't be me. And then it happens. And then look at you. Looking stupid.
is Dan Bilzerian, and he kind of put that behind him. And a lot of it was like actual models, like supermodels. So that's a different story from these gutter chicks. The OF is the gutter of actual models. These gutter chicks that are looking for a come up and are not too happy about it. And this is also the social aspect where Shannon Sharpe gets hurt by this. This chick is white. I don't care what people say, like, oh, she's Hispanic. Like, what kind of Hispanic? Listen, man, Spaniards are white if she's Spaniard, or if she's Argentinian. Argentinians are white. Yeah, sure, they speak Spanish, but genetically, you put out their genetic code, yeah, they're white. That's a problem too, because Dr. Umar dropped this one clip, so I'm gonna run you guys that clip right now.
Shannon Sharpe, I'm gonna stand with you, my brother. Shannon Sharpe, I'm gonna stand with you, my brother, on one condition.
Himself.
I'm getting text messages from all over the African universe telling me that Shannon Sharpe was accused of the unspeakable. I'm getting text messages telling me that Shannon Sharpe was accused of the unspeakable. I'm going to stand with my Uncle Shannon Sharpe. I'm going to stand with my Uncle Shannon Sharpe. I'm going to stand with Uncle Shay Shay on one condition. Uncle Shay Shay, no more snow bunnies after this scandal. If you cannot promise me that you will never seek the company of another snow bunny, I cannot stand with you. Uncle Shay Shay. Uncle Shay Shay. I'm standing with you, Unc. I think it's a scam. I'm standing with you, Unc. I think it's a scam. I'm standing with Uncle Shannon Sharpe on this.
How many times is Dr. Umar Johnson? Yo, take a shot every time this nigga repeats himself on live stream. And I ain't gonna hold you, he got some excellent slogans though. The man is hilarious. But yeah, the repetitiveness, I get it. You know, he's trying to implant it in your brain. But sometimes it's just like, you can see right through what he's doing, and it's a little corny.
I'm standing with Uncle Shannon Sharpe on this one, but Uncle Shay Shay, no more bunnies after this. Can somebody confirm if he's being accused by snow bunnies or Afro-Queens? Is Uncle Shannon being accused of snow bunnies or Afro-Queens? Who can confirm? Does anybody know the race of Uncle Shay Shay's accusers? Are they black or are they white? Are they black? Is this a rice bunny situation? Is this a snow bunny situation? Is this a sand bunny situation?
Sand bunny?
Is this a salsa bunny situation?
Salsa bunny?
Teresa Double O. If you have a co-wife, you can fill out my wifey resume. Wifey resumes must come with 2 names on them. Wifey resumes must come with 2 names on them. You know my number. 215-989-9858. You know my number. 215-989-9858. Text messages only. Text messages only. Text messages only. 215.
He don't get free phone calls until after 5, y'all. Text messages only.
989-9858. I need to know.
I need
to know the race of Uncle Shay Shay's accusers. Was Shannon Sharpe accused by the rice? Was Shannon Sharpe accused by the ice? Was Shannon Sharpe accused by the snow? Was Shannon Sharpe accused by the sand? Or was he accused by
the salsa?
The salsa.
Yeah.
I'm standing with Uncle Shannon because I don't like when black men get taken down. I got to stand by him. Yes, he's a lifetime snow bunny hopper. Yes, he's a lifetime snow bunny hopper, but that's my brother. Uncle Shannon Sharpe is my brother. I'm standing with Uncle Shannon Sharpe
I know a couple
until
niggas
the
like
facts
that.
prove otherwise. I'm standing with Uncle Shannon Sharpe until the facts prove otherwise.
So this is all funny and hee-hee-ha-ha giggling, but this affects Shannon Sharpe because a lot of people that watch Shannon Sharpe, a lot of them are women, a lot of them are black women, and they're gonna, a lot of people are already putting up tweets like, oh, this guy thought it was sweet with not just with young chicks, but he's with young white chicks. Oh, this is what he gets. And we've seen a lot of that sentiment as well. So there won't even be a conversation about whether Shannon Sharpe did it or not. There will be a massive group from Shannon Sharpe's own audience that will just say, oh, this is what he had coming to him for messing with the white chick. Which, are they wrong? I wouldn't say so, because you got to take consideration. Like Shannon Sharpe, older, gigantic dude with a white chick in America. What does that look like? Just, you're already in danger off of that. And then doing this like weirdo play or whatever, and then her extorting you, and then this coming out. So he might lose, not just in terms of money or the case, whether he's innocent or not, but from the perception and brand quality and equity that he has within a community, that's going to be hurt as well. And that's just a side effect of all of this. So I know this guy's stressing. He's probably growing a lot more gray hairs. I don't know if he dyes his hair, because it doesn't seem like he has very much gray hair for a guy that's 56. He's aged well. I can say that for sure, especially for someone that was in the NFL. NFL dudes are getting beat back and forth. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. We're going to see a lot of interesting developments, because even the leaks that they put out, they didn't leak all the messages. I'm talking about Shannon Sharpe when he revealed all the text. They aren't all the text.
So yeah, if there's video like Shannon was alleging to, he's definitely cooked. But I do feel this is a money grab, especially because he offered them 10 mil to just put this, under wraps. We don't have to release anybody's name. We don't have to go to trial. And they turned it down. $10 million. Like, think about that, chat. Think about just how much money $10 million is. And now think about just how greedy Tony Busby, this lawyer, is. He's going to stop at nothing to get this man out of his 50 mil. And yeah, it's kind of sinister. But at the same time, it's one of those situations where this man got himself into it himself with his own, unfortunately, simple-minded nature. And he got finessed by somebody way younger than him. And yeah, I mean, Tony Busby definitely put a battery in her back. But at the same time, I'm still, get your money. If you were assaulted sexually, you have every right to go after the people that did that. But if you weren't, and this is just a quote unquote money grab, then Shannon Sharpe has every right to sue for defamation of character, because he's definitely getting dragged right now. But I want to know what you guys think about this in the chat. How y'all feeling about this Shannon Sharpe freaky frog situation?